Hello, Reese from the Point Music News podcast, and there's the camera right there. I got it this time. Really fun one this time. Big chats with Sydney's The Immigrants, and Immigrants by name and Immigrants by nature, but it's such an eclectic group of hard rock loving dudes who released a song called Saturday Night. You may have seen the article if you follow the Point on Facebook and the website. It's a hell of a song, and I can smell the leather pants burning from here. It's so good. Great fun chats with these guys. So I hope you enjoy this one. Buckle in, ladies and gentlemen, people all sorts. The Immigrants. Ooh, that nearly caught the yep. The Immigrants. How are we?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
it's like Sydney band. It's been a while since I had a Sydney act on this one. It's been mainly Brisbane ones. So you guys have got a new single, Saturday Night.
Yeah, we literally just released it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Ooh. Hey, notifications. Boo.
Yeah.
Busted.
It's called Saturday Night. We just released it there. What was it, a week ago?
Around there.
A week ago. With the video.
Yeah.
We did a music video release with it as well. A low budget, of course.
That's the way to go.
But we completed it. Seems okay.
It's nothing wrong with low budget. Actually, because I'm in several bands. I actually play in Swimsuit Issue with Danny as well. So I don't know if you know that.
Oh, nice.
All right.
I knew from your podcast you were in the reggae band as well.
Yeah, I'm in Barefoot. Yeah. So
Nice.
Barefoot's the expensive one. So that's the one that has all the expensive budgets to do stuff. Whereas Swimsuit Issue and the other band, we just do everything DIY, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, if you try submitting to Rage, they'll usually tell you the shittier the actual film clip, the more likely it will get played.
Really?
Really?
That's good. Well, we have a good chance, though.
We have a lot of shit in the film clips.
I mean, if it's pretty bizarre and really shit, it's more than likely going to get played.
So many.
At 3 a.m. At 3 a.m.
Yeah, all right.
We can't even remember doing it.
That's fair, man.
Oh, I thought Zen was getting up to do a piss break. I was just waiting for it.
Thank God, Zen. We're trying to train him, man. You know, it's very, very difficult.
Hey,
Just
no.
like the bladder, man.
You can't break bad old habits with bass players. It's just the thing, right? You can't train us. We do our own thing.
Yeah. Very stubborn people.
No, we're not stubborn. We just know like what we're doing, and we don't like.
We have our own thing.
Yeah, we don't like being told by guitarists what to do. That's the thing.
That's true. That's true.
We listen to the drummers though. That's all right. I was actually a little bit surprised when I heard this song for the first time, to be honest with you. Not in a bad way. Just was not expecting that full pelt, like hard rock coming out. So where's this all come from?
I don't know. How do we answer it? Yeah, I suppose when with Saturday Night, I came to the guys with the initial riff. And I basically went in and, said, like, I suppose I said, look, I think I got something here, and, played the riff, and then it just took on a life of its own after that, So I think with all the ideas, I think the song was pretty much finished in either that day or a couple of days. And then
it was pretty quick.
Suddenly we just wanted to record it, and then it went into kind of, how could we achieve the big sound that we were looking for? From a production point of view, and I suppose Nazo, you could speak on that in terms of like we knew what we wanted, we knew the sound we were going for, we knew we wanted like a catchy, powerful chorus, kind of influenced by like the kind of Motorhead vibe and the kind of like some of our influences, because we've all got various different influences.
Yep.
And they come out in us in different ways. And I suppose that's the beauty about the band being the Immigrants, is that like, because we're all from different cultures and we all have various influences that are different, but we've also got very, very similar ones, which kind of attracted us together. Once we start playing a song like that, it's like we all know where we're going with it. And then, it just got to the production, and then we said, like, how do we achieve this massive sound that we're looking for, and kind of bring back that kind of rawness that we all kind of long for, you know.
It's a pretty chunky song, to be honest with you. Actually, because I've started doing these haiku reviews, and I actually did one for you guys, which will come out in the next couple of days, just so you know.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. They're good or bad?
Yeah.
It's always good, but I always take the piss if it's something that stands out to me. And I've only got 575 the syllables to come up with stuff to explain the sound. So I'm not going to say what it is. You'll have to wait till it comes out, basically.
Oh, awesome! No. Look forward to it.
No, definitely.
But it's very riff heavy. Saturday Night's very riff heavy and chunky. So I'm assuming there's got to be a Les Paul in there somewhere.
No, really. No? We don't have this one. No.
I play a PRS.
Oh, PRS. Yeah.
PRS, so it has got a bit of chunkiness to it, and then you've got a Strat.
Strat, yeah.
And I think it's the tweaking of the sounds and stuff like that.
It took us like the song was we wanted to release it in January.
Yeah.
Like we had this song for a while now, but it was just that we were never happy with the sound. Like the song was recorded in January, end of January, because everything was recorded at my home-based studio, the Happiness Studio, and everything was ready. It's just that I always had something that didn't like in it, or some parts Darren didn't like or Zen. But like always like that, and the mainly was the guitar sound. And I've recorded the guitars at the start, Darren's guitar with the PRS. And he had the Axe effect then we recorded with Axe. It sounded awesome. Yep. And at the time, I only had my analog gear, the Mesa Boogie, just like your regular rock sound, like the analog distortion pedals. And after listening Darren's Axe effects, I was like, man, this is like it sounded much better. Yeah. Even though it's not traditional way to record a song like that. I was like, we are in 2021. Like
everything's changing.
It's changing. It's changing. You are expected to do something like clear, much more clarity. It's like all that sounds that you get from this new technology. And then I decided to buy to go Axe Effects.
Sorry about that, man. I hit his pocket because I was like,
no. To be honest, I always wanted to have Axe Effects, but like the version that Darren got was in my budget. I was like, that's it, I'm getting that one, and he encouraged me. I was like, we waited that, we re-recorded that, we re-recorded the bass with Axe Effects, and we always wanted, So we never changed the song arrangement. We always extended the date of the release just to get the sound that we wanted.
Yeah.
And in the end, we got this big song.
It was kind of like fate because like initially we were happy with the song. The song actually sounded good, but there was just something there that we just felt like this could be a little bit better, just in our own minds. And then like even though everybody was happy with it and were willing to say yes to it, we had a bit of an honest conversation, me and Nazo, and I said, like, look, mate, I just think there's something that we need to do here. So we did go back, and it was really good that we did because other things changed because of us.
One of them was the guitar. Like the initial recording of the guitar was the original one with the analog gig was stayed like that as well. But the solo was changed. Sorry, I forgot this. The solo that I had to re-record it because I just wanted that better quality.
You want to clean up.
And it made you play differently.
It made me play differently. And like during that time, we never thought it was the guitar sound or the bass sound. We always thought that, maybe the song needs something modern in it. We tried a lot of arpeggiator stuff, like synthesizers and things.
It wasn't us.
But it wasn't us. Like in the end, we just wanted just raw instrument, like literally 4 instruments, classic rock instruments, but produced in 2021.
Yeah, exactly. We just wanted it to sound like every instrument that we wanted it to sound the way we wanted it, but in a 2021, this song is made in 2021.
Yeah.
And the good thing as well is like when we went back to the bass, and I know it broke poor Zen's heart here, but we said to Zen, you're gonna have to come back in, and we don't want you to just play the same thing. We want to look at different ways of playing it to bring out that bass, to bounce the bass out in certain parts, etc. So we actually changed the bass as well. So as a knock-on effect of wanting, not perfection, like we're not in pursuit of perfection. We know that like perfect isn't
doesn't
perfect.
Exist, yeah.
But the thing is, we wanted to be satisfied with ourselves and satisfied for any of our fans or anybody that actually listens to our music and enjoys it, that we did the best we could with it. And we did re-record, we did a chromatic scale in the bass and everything, felt that led into the chorus better as well, or into the verse. And we were so glad of the changes, and we're really happy with the single now. Not only the song, but we went and, we went hell for leather with the video on a low budget, of course, but we did the best we could. Everything that we do, we try and do the best we can. 2021, you don't need massive studios these days. No, you don't need massive to do the things that can be achieved. You're not going to, you just need to have an idea, a mindset to do it. And, surround yourself with good, talented people who want to achieve something, and you can give to them and they can give to you, Look, don't get me wrong. We tried to support another artist in terms of, the girl who videoed the music video. She was willing to do it for free, but for experience. But we did pay her what we could. Yeah. Because we know that it matters to us as well to be actually, kind of appreciated for the work that you do as well. Oh, and not only that, we did well. We even got we did the artwork for we staged the photo shoot and everything. We directed that with the photographer, and kind of got the shot that we wanted as well for the front cover and everything. So from kind of concept to completion, I think we're really happy with it. Eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, was there a wall of guitar technique that you adopted, because it's pretty fucking thick?
It wasn't wall of guitar, but I did use multiple tracks, obviously stereo. I always record left separate, right separate. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I put I doubled that up. Yep. I just use different pickups, or ask Darren to use different pickup, or sometimes I go for different cab sound. Because in the past we used a lot of cab simulators with tube amplifiers, but we just add torpedo or just a universal aux unit. But this time it was more my guitars left and right, just a very massive there, and also Darren's guitar. We playing very similar as well, but. For this mix, I don't know if you heard our the other songs that we've done.
Had a quick listen.
Spotify. That was. I didn't feel that it has to be guitar heavy song. This one I felt like it has to be the guitar. It has to be up there with the vocal.
And I guess with the riff, the way Nazo plays the riff a certain way and I play it a certain way. If we're actually to go side by side, we play it slightly different, the two of us.
Yeah, I play right, he play wrong usually.
He meant he plays right hand and I play left.
Yeah. Either way will work, right?
No, but what I'm trying to say here is that when I play it, the riff sounds the way I play it. It's just the same as any guitarist when they have their own kind of sound and way to play it. Mm-hmm. But with Nazo, he plays it a certain way. But when you put the two together, we felt that it did have that kind of oomph that we were looking for. And then what else could we do? And just as a backstory, Reese, you might not know, but so obviously we write and record and produce everything ourselves. But Nazo is a producer, so he does all the production on everything, but obviously everyone else plays and we arrange and what have you. That's right. But Nazo does all the production for us, and then we get it. Usually we either master ourselves or we send it out for mastering. In this case, we got Leon Zervis to master, which is a well-known mastering
engineer.
I've
used Leon before.
Yeah. No, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He helped a lot to bring up the mix that I wanted to bring. The very focused on the mid-range guitars, and it was just literally what we wanted.
He knew what we were looking for.
It was perfect.
Yeah, the whole mixing. I'm assuming you mix too, Naz.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I hate mixing. I'm happy producing because I help produce with Danny with Swimsuit, and I produce Mills, another band that I'm in, that stuff. But I've tried mixing, and I spent basically 8 months mixing an album, and I've basically given up, and I just hand it to a mixing engineer that I'm really happy to use now. And holy shit, the songs that come back, I'm just going, oh.
Did you? Were you mixing the album that you produced as well?
Yeah.
Were you?
So,
see, that's the thing as well.
I'm not mixing Swimsuits.
That's what I like. Yeah, like I'm not a big fan of that as well. Like to if I'm writing a song or performing or producing to also mix.
Yeah.
But in our case, we've tried before to have a different mixing engineer. It was harder for me to explain what I want from the mixing engineer than
see, his
me
English,
doing by
his English
myself.
is not the greatest.
Exactly.
You know,
I do play the right part.
You play the right part.
He has to bring that up.
And generally, we need to have a translator with Nazo 24/7 so that he doesn't offend someone. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if I
Bloody Irishman, man.
tonight, But yeah, man, it's just like I couldn't. I just after that I couldn't trust like our song only our song to give. But I thought mastering to do it to give it to someone else helped a lot.
Always fresh ears for
helped.
mastering, man. Like I do not agree with the producer mastering most of the times. It just,
Like you're too close to it.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
yeah, very close. Exactly, yeah.
You can't perfect your own mix. No, like your own mix is your best you could do. Like how could you let it better?
And that's what I'd love. I'd love to, you know, if we had the money as well, if we had the budget, we'd, you know, put it out to a well-known or well-accomplished mixing or producer and stuff like that.
Why you're not happy?
No, sorry, man. I didn't want it to come out like this.
Oh wow!
But
punch on,
just because
punch
I'm
on.
not charging anything, I'm not well known anymore.
But I think that like if you take, because we're so close to the songs ourselves, like maybe a producer, someone outside of the band would pull something out of us that we didn't know existed. I think that's what I think that having that outside ear, I think could benefit, and that's where it does benefit so many big bands and what have you.
Easily,
you do get too close to it.
I agree.
We love the stuff, but we do get too close to it. I think you do need that sounding board outside of the band, and if we did have the money, we probably would do that, and maybe you just take a co-production or even producer and then let them mix it or something. You know, because I see you're always involved, so you can always manage it, but you can trust another person because we don't know everything. We're learning as we go. You know, kind of like we're doing this, but by the seat of our pants kind of thing, just like doing what we can when we can, and doing the best we can. We don't know if it's right, but it sounds good to us so far. You know, so hopefully the listeners agree. You know.
Yeah, you were just talking about the whole XFX things, going back to that. So, would you be adopting that for live shows now? Now that you've
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It depends on what the gig is like. For example, we had a gig yesterday that had already a PA set up, everything ready, good, and that's where we decided it's a good idea to bring XFX. But for example, Sunday we have another gig that
it's gonna be analog.
They have they don't have enough channels. It's not it's
a bar gig.
Mic'd up everything. You know, so we have to bring analog.
Yeah, me and Nazo both have we've both digital and analog boards, both small boards, big boards, different. I think the analog thing I'll never get away from it because I love the creativity of plugging in different wires and getting different sounds and messing around with components and stuff like that. But the ease of use of having the kind of, I suppose the possibilities are endless when you're tweaking sounds and what have you. You can kind of go down the rabbit hole and spend a lot of time on it. But
way too much.
If you have a sound, if you have a sound in your head and stuff like Saturday night, I played around with a certain sound that that I felt that I want this. This is the sound that I want, and it took a while. Different cabs, different amps, different sounds, different tweaking everything. But then the beauty of being able to save that then and then show it to Nazo and Nazo go, actually, this is great. And then so much so that he then developed his own sound throughout doing the same process. And now we've got 2 guitar sounds on there that are pretty much, you'll never see them duplicated again because there's so many parameters to change. Plus, we use certain analog effects in with our digital effects as well. So, for instance, Nazo has his own custom distortion, which he actually runs through the XFX as well. Yeah. And then the XFX colors it with different things,
I think that's for now, that's my favorite sound. I always wanted to have a sound that I can play live and get exact same sound and go to the studio and record it. Same exact sound whenever I want. I always had the trouble with that. I've tried a lot of plugins. I've tried a lot of like digital pedals. It's just I couldn't never do it because the problem is when you're using tube amps and analog pedals and all your analog rigs, it sounds awesome when you're playing live.
Yep.
But when you come to the studio, every time will sound different. It depends how you mic'd it. How was like even it depends on the temperature. Like it's so much like the way you play everything. You change it, and I always hated that. And that's the main thing I like about the Axe Effect. Like, I have my own sound, always gonna be that sound, no matter where I go, which studio I go, which venue I go, you know? As long as the sound engineer didn't forget to put the EQ flat. And which happens a lot there.
Well, I think, Reese, with the way technology has gone, it's got to that point where it has surpassed, it's gone past that threshold where it wasn't sounding the way everybody wanted it. And now it's starting to transition into sounding the way people expected the sound, or actually you really wanted to get that type of sound. So it's only now that we decided to look at those options. Whereas before, like, Jesus, you see my studio, I've pedals everywhere. You're not gonna like, and I love it, and I'll always have that. You're not gonna. But as Nazo said, when you get up and you can recall those sounds and everything, and give the performance that you always wanted,
it's consistent.
Like with all the sounds that you originally recorded with and what have you, like the same guitar sound that you hear on Saturday night, like we play it live. You know what I mean? It's the same two sounds. You know what I mean? So it sounds really, really close to the track, which is quite good. It has that beefiness and what have you. Sometimes you don't always get that. And when someone's miking up your amp and it's mic'd up a different way than you actually normally do or what have you, you know?
Well, that's why I always trouble with the Sans amp. I swear by him. Because I have no idea what bass rig I'm going to be going through depending on where I'm touring. So
been encouraging Zen to get one of those.
Do it, man.
With the bass.
I'm using the fuzz pedal now.
Well, the Sans amp actually acts as a fuzz pedal, well, a distortion or overdrive pedal because it's got a drive channel on there if you want to use that. But there's plenty. Like the dark glass ones are actually really good too.
Yeah, the dark glass are really
Do you use it with a cab?
Sorry. Yeah.
With a cab. So, like you can use any cab.
Yep.
Right? Like
because I basically bypass the preamp in the whatever head I'm using.
Yeah.
So I'll put it through like the effects loop out, and that's how it's supposed to go through, and it actually bypasses the preamp in whatever amp, and it will have the tone of the Sans amp, which is the tone I want.
Yeah.
And I usually sorry.
No, sorry.
Well, I usually get the sound engineer to basically DI out straight out the Sans amp, so I use the cab as a fallback for myself on stage.
Fallback, yeah.
And they can control whatever the sound at the front. So if I can't hear myself on stage, I can turn myself up on stage, and I'm not pissing off the sound engineer.
Yeah. Well, you're pissing off your band members.
Nah, I don't care about that.
I don't care about that.
Jeez, Reese, I hope that the listeners are pedal heads now because we're gone very, very.
You'd be surprised by how many of them are like, they're into that sort of stuff.
Sweet.
But Lucas, did your drums change at all during this recording process?
I'm really not understanding anything that you guys are saying. Just wanted to put that out. The drums changed a little bit after a few live gigs that we did.
Yeah.
And then when I found whatever I wanted on every single spot of the song, I was like, that's it. I'm not changing anything anymore. So from the second day, like right after we rehearsed the song for the first time, I went to his place. We recorded the drums like very roughly, so everyone could like
you have a bed track
practice on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I kept on listening to that and like kind of making tweaks in my head, and then we kept on playing obviously, and then I got to a point where I was like, that's it, I'm not changing anything.
A lot of times that's the way the songs come out, Reese, as well, as that like we come up with an idea and then we kind of just showcase it and then just road test it until we're still finding our feet with the song and basically just coming up with shit like
on the spot.
Nothing
wrong with that.
And we and we always record everything, so we always skip back to whatever was good. And the way I see it is, if I get a smile out of the band, or if we get excited or something, it's always a positive.
Ta-da moment.
Yeah, it's a ta-da moment. It's like, wow, that's it. You know?
And just singing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we always know there's a feeling between the band that, oh shit, we like that, you know.
That's that chemistry that happens.
We keep that. You know? That's the beauty about technology as well. Because it's so easy these days to record everything. Once you get it, you don't have to try and remember it. You just flick back to it the next day, make sure you know it, and then, you know.
It's one of the worst things when you're jamming out something. Like, I know this happens in my band Mules, because the singer Nathan, he's got 30 plus years of singing experience, and the drummer's got 30 plus years of drumming, and I've got 27 years of bass playing up my sleeve. So we'll just gel, and we'll just jam out something, and then we'll just all of a sudden just go, fuck, did anyone record that? So then we'll go through and try to record it again, and it just misses that freaking that spark that we just captured. Yeah, I hate that feeling.
Sometimes you can't beat the demo. It's just like, it's very hard. Like, it happened with our track Run. Is like, I recorded, I don't know how it happened, but like, I recorded it on this, it was through Logic, but it was through this shitty little interface. I recorded it through some pedal that I was using at the time. I couldn't even remember what it was. And for some reason, when I played it, the riff, it just came out, and I recorded it straight away. And it was, we were trying to achieve the same sound for so long, and it took us like months, didn't it, before we were actually happy with the final sound of Run. That it was just that arpeggio in the way that it was recorded, with certain compression, delay, little bit of distortion, a little tiny bit of chorus. I was trying to reverse engineer how I did it. I couldn't remember.
It's a happy accident, you know? Mate.
Exactly. But to be honest, I still love the demo, but I'm really happy with the final track. Like, you know, but it took so long to actually get back to that. You know?
I thought you were gonna say I like the demo more. I was gonna say
I was waiting for it.
It took me 2 months to get him happy, and now he's like,
There's sometimes cases where the demo is actually used again as basically part of the bed, or like part of the main track. I mean, one of the most famous ones I know of is John Farnham's The Voice. I don't know if you know the story, but you know the song The Voice, right? That vocal you're hearing was actually the demo track.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he actually...
I've heard this story. Yeah, go on, sorry.
Well, he actually, like, when he did that demo, that's when Glenn Wheatley, the manager at the time, his manager, longtime manager, basically pitched it to the studio, and they said, yep, go and pitch it to the label, and they said, yep, get him in the studio right now. And they went into the studio. Glenn Wheatley remortgaged his house, what it was, to pay for the studio time. And they were in there for ages, and then he got the phone call that John was done doing this track, and he came in with a bottle of champagne, ready to pop it and listen to this track and think it was gold. And he listened to it, and he's just gone, what's this? And John's just gone, what you wanted? And he goes, no, where's the spark? Where's all that? And yeah, they end up using the demo track, the demo vocals, and remixing that, and that was the song that was released.
I think there's something... Yeah, there's something when you come up with a song, or when you start writing a song and there's an idea for a song, that you're straight into the moment. You know, you're in that in that space, whether it's a dark space or a light space or somewhere in between. And I feel that when you're writing that, you can't help but have the emotion of the song.
That's right.
So that's where the demo is easy to snap that and capture, because you're so immersed in it. What happens is you leave that space then after a while, and then you try and recreate it.
You're trying to perfect it.
It's very hard to enter. You're trying to perfect it. You're trying to get back in. You're thinking about so many different things, but you're not thinking about the true reason you were there in the first place. And that's what I find when I do a demo. It is hard to get back into that. But for me anyway, I use little imagery in my mind or something to do with the song that brings me back to it, so I can snap into it, forget about everything else. Especially with vocals and what have you, when we're trying to do vocals.
Yeah.
The whole reasons behind the song. That's the trick. If you can figure out how to get back into that space, then you can complete it and you will be happy with it. But if you keep thinking about everything else around that, trying to, think about sounds, how I did this, how I did that, a lot of it doesn't really matter. It's just about getting into that emotion of it, whether it's emotion in your fingers when you're playing the guitar parts, or it's the actual vocal where you're trying to achieve that tone or that kind of deepness in your voice or the meaning behind the song. Very hard to achieve that. Yeah, that's why the demo. I love the demos. I love demo sounds.
So you were saying, like way back at the start of this, that Motorhead was a bit of an influence on this sort of track here. With the wall of sound, particularly the wall of guitars and that, there's only one album I can think of that comes to mind that can perfectly capture their live sound onto record. And if you listen to the record and hear them live, it's exactly the same. And that's Shehead's General Electric. If you know the album.
It's one of... Yep. I love that. And it's actually... I use a lot of songs from there for as a reference.
Yeah.
Not for this song particularly, but I have used it before just because I like the guitar sounds.
Oh,
there. And,
well, he uses one of them uses a PRS, and there's in it. I'm pretty sure. I think the main guitarist,
I'm not sure.
not John.
I don't know what they do.
Yeah,
I just love it.
What was the reference track we used for Saturday Night? So normally we talk about this like, it's like Motley Crue or
I used Guns N' Roses.
Paradise.
Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the Jungle.
That's what it was.
Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
And also, what did I use? I use Nickelback. Because there's the Disney words from Nickelback. I really love the guitars as well. So I use different reference.
That's a swear word, right?
Yeah.
Using Nickelback as a reference, but the guitar tone Nickelback actually does.
That's why I explained why.
It's pretty good.
So no one judge me, right? Now I love Nickelback. I don't care who hates them. I love Nickelback. I think these are the two main references I use. Yeah. I've used Motley Crue before.
That's right. We used the Demons. Yeah, we used Motley Crue. Yeah, we always talk about different songs that I suppose bring out a certain feeling. And like we actually have a new track. We haven't actually recorded this. We haven't even actually spoke about too much about going into record this one yet. But very Motorhead, which is kicking a dick.
Yeah,
kicking a dick. It's like it's just it started off as a bit of fun between the band. Like I came up with a bit of a riff and what have you, and then suddenly just took on a life of its own. And we've never had so much fun playing something, and we just felt, my God, Lenny would love this.
Fast rock and roll.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
It was just so enjoyable, and it really captured. We recorded it and what have you, like just the rehearsal and that.
Yep.
And we just felt, God, we got to get in and do this. But definitely, reference tracks will have to be Motorhead all over.
Oh, Ace of Space straight away.
Yeah, definitely.
I did some Instagram stalking of you guys, and I want to ask about the photos that were taking at the live performance in the Square. Do you want
to? So you want to talk there? Which one? Busking.
Or just the busking stuff?
Yeah.
Just the busking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like so. Look. What happened was I mean, we're not really a busking band as such in terms of like we're a rock band, man. You know what I mean? But what happened was we were trying to get gigs in venues, and obviously COVID hit, and it hit us hard. We were really taking flight. We were playing the Annandale Hotel to 150, 200 people.
Nice.
We were getting ticket sales. We were selling merch. Like, we were doing well. And to be honest, like we were having, great gigs. And then suddenly it all just stopped.
Yeah.
And we just felt like, what do we do? Like, we can't get gigs. We can't play anywhere. So, I have an engineering background. So I'm not an electrical engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer. I have a degree in mechanical engineering. But I had a little bit of an electrical knowledge. And I said to myself, well, why don't bands play in the streets? And it's a lot to do with the actually powering the tube amps, etc.
Yep.
And actually power that you'd need to actually do all this and what have you. So I did a bit of research, looked at what I'd need and what have you, and basically just got the gear together. And then I said, look, lads, why don't we hit the streets as do a small setup, basically powering everything, tube amps, the whole lot. And they thought I was mental. And then we just hit the fucking streets, and like, to be honest, people loved it. And it's actually helped us pay for, recording now, and it's helped us with our Instagram and pay for the music video.
So no problem with the popo or anything like that?
Oh, a lot of problems.
Oh,
yeah. But not.
We've been shut, mate.
We've been shut down more than that we played.
Actually,
Honest to God, we have been shut down so many
But
times.
I don't blame them. We are too loud. We are too loud.
no, we're not that loud.
You should be using that as
No,
marketing
no,
material, to be honest with you.
Okay. Now, in fairness, no, we have been shut down by the police, but the good thing is we know them quite well, and they know us quite well, so they know we're not going away.
Yeah.
So they actually allow us to play. Now the police.
There is like you really get a very small amount of really like bad experience with the police, but usually they're like we had an experience one time. We weren't too loud. We were loud, but the reason that they wanted to shut down because we were playing somewhere that our busking license is not permitted.
Not valid.
Not valid.
Yeah.
And these two police officers come over there standing, and I'm looking to that. Here we go. That's it. We gotta stop. They're gonna come stop us. They waited us to finish our set. And we're like, we're gonna have a break, and they came with like, guys, you guys can't play here. But the reason we didn't want to stop because we were having fun. I'm like, guys, come on, that's amazing, but yeah, we had to stop it after that. Anyway.
Yeah, because like one time we were playing in Newtown, and these two officers, I could see them across the street, and they noticed us, and then they started coming across, walking really, really fast. And here's the band playing, and I turned around to Naz and I said, here's the police, they're coming. We need to lower the volume or something. And they're just like marching right towards us. And as soon as they get right in front of us, they take out money, throw in the money, and then just stand there watching. And we're just like, thanks, lad. So we've had some really good experience. We were shut down at one time when we were asked to play a party, and basically it was a private party.
Oh, that's parties, man. That's
that was so cool.
Oh my God, mate! There was. They had a helicopter. They brought out the.
They had a full squad. We thought like we're doing the biggest crime of the year.
Yeah, two vans, a chopper, and there was about 11 police officers.
Yeah.
Why are you not filming all this stuff and using it for a goddamn film clip?
We can't release it.
Just blur your faces or whatever you gotta use, man, because that'd be epic.
I swear it was epic. There was only 30 people at the party initially, and everybody heard us play, and the party just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep.
It got to over 200 people, I think, at some stage.
During COVID,
it's yeah, exactly. So we understood that. So the police actually said to us that we could continue playing if the number was down. So when the people left, we started playing again, but then everybody started coming back. And,
it got out of control. Yeah.
But all in all, Reese, if I'm honest, the busking has helped us reach people that we never thought possible before.
Yeah,
and it's helped us actually get through COVID, and it's supported us in a way. Yeah, we play a little differently in the street, and we play different songs and stuff like that. We choose to play, I suppose, play all our sets and stuff like that. But
a couple covers or stuff.
We throw in covers and stuff like
There's
that.
nothing wrong with that. I love covers.
We keep it fresh by rearranging the covers, rewriting them and stuff like that to our own style and that. So all in all, busking has helped us. But now the good thing is COVID has got better, especially in Australia. It's got obviously a little bit better here, which means that like we've a lot more gigs, which we've 4 gigs this month, 4 gigs in May, which is good. Like that's more than we've had for a long time. So you won't see us on the streets that much if we're going to have venues. We much prefer to go to venues, obviously, and play to bigger crowds and big, with using big PAs and actual purpose-built venues for music, But the busking, if I'm honest, it was a lifeline to us during the COVID situation.
Yeah, I bet. Well, that's the case of adapting. Like a lot of musicians had to find other ways of adapting to generating either income or exposure or whatever it is to whatever they could do. I mean, some took to basically producing and releasing singles even though they couldn't be gigging. I know that I did that. Some were some started Patreon channels. Some were doing live streams, which are a pain in the ass. But and then you guys doing that. So.
We're not a fan of those, boy.
Yeah,
I did that once.
So that's what we've decided to record our EP then as well. That's why we use that time. But it just after a while you get like like this. You miss playing live.
You want to play
live.
Yeah.
Well, it's feeding off the audience. It's that interaction. Like last time when we were playing. We just, as soon as we got on stage, we were just different. Yeah, we were back to normal, Just like we're different to how we normally are. You know, from we got on stage and we just performed, and the interaction between the audience, even though it wasn't a major big crowd or anything, but it was great interaction. You know, and it's that feeling. You can't replicate performing live, and every time it's different. You know, it's not the same kind of experience. Now, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you know, I mean, everybody has great gigs and then not so great gigs. You know, but it's just playing live has something different about it, and it's
definitely.
addictive. You know.
I'll start to wrap this up now because we're actually getting close to 40 minutes, believe it or not.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Because you guys are Sydney based, but we're going to see you guys coming up over the border anytime soon. You think?
It all depends on COVID, I guess.
Well, it's open now.
It's open now. What are you talking about, man? No, I think no.
Oh, I thought you meant out of the country. Sorry.
No. Up here,
whoa.
Queensland. I'm a Sunshine Coast.
One step at a time. No, certainly to answer your question, yes, definitely. So we're actually up in Byron Bay in late May. So we're actually starting to branch out. We're starting to go kind of grow out of Sydney a little bit because we've been on the Sydney circuit for a long time.
Yeah.
So we're starting to we're in the Central Coast in Yamina, in YY. Sorry, YY. We've got a gig. And then certainly we're talking to some people in Queensland and that, in terms of actually going and, you know, maybe talking to some other bands and doing a bit of an exchange where, you know, we go there, they go here, you know, and we put on some nights here and get a few bands like yourselves or whatever like that just want to come visit, and we'll put you up and help out in the same way. We'll hopefully do something there as well. But yeah, the aim is in the next few months is certainly cross those state borders and start kind of growing our market, I suppose, and, you know, growing our fan base there, hopefully spreading the word of the music and seeing if people dig it.
Sick. Well, we'll wrap this up. Hopefully we'll see you over the border soon. Stick on the line here because I'll have a bit of a debrief with you and I'll tell you a few things as well which you might want to know. But for everyone else, ladies and gentlemen and people, everyone else, this is the Immigrants. Thanks, lads.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
As I always say, I sincerely hope you enjoyed that one. Seriously, big ups to the Immigrants for jumping in on this podcast. That was a lot of fun. Do check out the song Saturday Night. A lot of fun. And keep an eye out for these guys if they happen to come over the border and head our way, which they're promising and threatening to do, which should be pretty cool. Stay tuned. I'm going to take a week off next week because I've got a lot of stuff I've got to get done. But if you haven't checked out the TikTok channel that I set up, go have a look on there for all the haiku reviews that I've been doing. And first time listening to this, follow and subscribe, do all that sort of jazz. And in general, thank you for supporting the podcast and for supporting local music, live music, Australian music, all sorts of music. You guys are legends. Cheers.